Hello guys, welcome back to this segment. I hope you're having a nice time. So some more interesting stories coming up from our players, and let's start with one man that we talked about in the previous video, and that's Moses Simon, who has sort of found his form. Even though he just recently came back from injury, he has been scoring back to back in their preseasons, as we talked about in the previous video. But again, right now he's still in the news, and this is for the reason of transfer. There have been a number of club sides who are showing interest in buying this man and taking him away from Nantes. But his manager, that's the Nantes manager, Antoine Conbori, has now, told these clubs to stay away from Moses Simon, that he is not for sale, not this season. The coach says that that they cannot let Moses Simon be such a key player and has a very, very important role for this Nantes side this coming season. So he's telling all these club sides to stay away. One of these club sides, interestingly, is managed by Roberto De Zerbi, the former Brighton and Hove Albion's coach, who has now moved to Marseille. So Marseille is actually interested in signing Moses Simon, but this manager now has told them that he's not for sale, at least not for this season. So that's what's happening. Moses Simon, of course, continues his form. As I said in the last video, they have two friendly preseason games coming up. One against Lorient, and then the next one against Crystal Palace. And then they are going to start their season, and hopefully Moses Simon gets to shine very much this season. And then moving away from Moses Simon update, let me let you know that Kelechi Iheanacho is also in the update. And this time around, he has now revealed the reason why people started calling him Senior Man Kelechi. Of course, this is his popular nickname that everyone knows, the fans knows, even not just the fans alone, but the players themselves, when they convene to play for the national team. Even at some point, the club side, when he was with Leicester City, that was the name that he was popularly called, especially by the close friends that are some of the friends that are very close to him and know him from way back. So Kelechi Iheanacho actually revealed that how this name came to be was back then in Leicester City, when one day he and Wilfred Ndidi and Daniel Amate, were actually having a walk in the street, and then they started joking around and started saying a whole lot of things. And then they started calling him Senior Man because of the conversations that they were having at that moment. And according to Kelechi, it was all a joke. They joked about it. And so they jokingly make a video about this conversation. And then later this video started going viral, among the Leicester City football players. And this is how they started calling him that name, Senior Man, in training, during matches and all of that. And then, he brought that nickname over to Nigeria. Right now in Nigeria, that's what we know him for. The majority of Nigerian fans, Nigerian Super Eagles fans, know him as Senior Man Kelechi because of what started at Leicester City. Again, I'm sure you know that Kelechi Iheanacho has now moved to Sevilla, where he will be playing his football for the next 2 seasons. They are currently playing their preseason, and of course, Kelechi is supposed to join the preseason training and then hopefully play in the friendly games that they have. And in the last video, if you recall, I mentioned that Fulham are actually going to play Sevilla, in their next preseason game, and that's going to come up this Monday. And the thing is, Kelechi Iheanacho, may not be ready for that game, and it's not about injury. It's not about the man having injury or that he has fitness issues, but based on the reports, it's strictly due to the fact that his documents, work permits, and all other paperwork have not been transferred from the English FA down to the Spanish Football Federation, where he's going to be working right now. Of course, you know how these things works. You're obviously going to get another permit because you're into another country, so you're going to follow the due process. So it's strictly bureaucratic process right now that is delaying Kelechi Iheanacho from joining the Sevilla teammates, with their training and their preseason games. He doesn't train with them currently because of these restrictions from his documents. And through the weekend, it should have been done already, but through the weekend, this Spanish Federation, they don't work as well as the English FA. So that will be something that will be sorted out next week, from Monday. So he's not going to be ready to play that Monday game because it's going to be too early for him. So chances are we're only going to see Chidera Ejuke make an appearance against his fellow compatriots Alex Iwobi and Kevin Bassey on Monday. But again, it gives Kelechi Iheanacho ample time to rest, well enough to be ready for when his papers have been transferred to the Spanish Federation. But moving on to the next gist, let me give you guys update relating to Victor Osimhen. Yes, I know we've been talking about Osimhen's transfer situation for a really long time now. Several videos that I put out here, I've always had to talk about Osimhen, but it's just based on how it is, with the deal. It's been very complicated. It's not a straight line deal, and there have been several twists and turns, with this deal, which I'm sure you guys know about. So, but right now there has been a little bit of interesting update that just came out of Osimhen's situation, and it's the fact that Arsenal have now emerged as the front runner to sign Victor Osimhen at this moment, because they have overtaken PSG in terms of the amount they are willing to offer to get Victor Osimhen. Remember, PSG tabled 80 million euros to try and get Osimhen, but that was rejected. But right now, based on the report, Arsenal have now beating that PSG price. It wasn't mentioned the specific amount that they're actually bidding for Osimhen, but it should be anywhere around or anywhere above 80 million euros. But it's still not matching the price that Napoli are currently asking. But right now, Arsenal are leading the race. They are leading PSG, leading Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, not also willing to meet PSG's asking price, and they were looking for, option, a loan option, for Victor Osimhen, and then giving them Lukaku, which was rejected. And speaking of Lukaku actually had to turn down a move to Aston Villa recently because he was waiting on Napoli to come and sign him. He already had a prior arrangements or prior agreement with Antonio Conte, who used to be his former coach. So he wants a reunion with this coach at Napoli, which is why he has now rejected that deal. But we'll see how everything's going to unravel. It's going to be very interesting to see the club side that Osimhen finally decides to go. But that's the update for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and then follow on Facebook. God bless you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you next time. Until I catch you in my next video.